Welcome to Community Taking Action, ABCD's program highlighting people and organizations doing great things in and around the Boston area. Today, we're going to talk a lot about homelessness and people who really need assistance getting support. And to help us with that conversation is Kate Fahey, the operations manager of the Allston-Brighton Neighborhood Center, and Dipti Patel, the neighborhood coordinator. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
So I understand that you guys are in Allston-Brighton, which is a remote corner of the city of Boston. And so I'm really interested, and I think our audience is interested to learn what you guys do out there. It's kind of like a remote frontier post.
Yeah.
So familiarize us. People who don't go to Allston-Brighton may not know exactly kind of where you guys are located and what you've been doing out there. So let's just start with the basics. Where are you guys located at?
So a lot of folks think that Allston-Brighton isn't a part of Boston. In fact, I've met residents that have even thought that. But we are. We have Commonwealth Ave that comes up from Kenmore Square and keeps us connected to Boston. We're kind of sandwiched between Watertown and Newton and Brookline. And our office is located in Oak Square, right kind of in the Newton corner of Brighton.
So I want to just talk about your role as we shape the conversation for the audience.
I work really closely with a lot of our community agencies. Our office has been able to develop some really strong partnerships within the community. And so a lot of what I do are attending community meetings and coalition meetings within the community. Our office is pretty small. So we're able to really kind of work together to brainstorm the different programs that we want to develop, but also on a client-to-client basis, how we can best serve each client and really have a discussion with those clients about what they would like to see from ABCD.
So that brings me to Dipti, and I know that your full title is Neighborhood Client Services Coordinator.
So I started off as case manager, which means that I would be taking on appointments with clients for a variety of the services that we offer. Transitioning from that to Neighborhood Client Services Coordinator, I'm still seeing clients, but I'm also overseeing all of the other appointments that are being seen in the office.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about the workshops and talk a little bit about Boston College, which you said is down the street.
So BC has a Pulse program that is...
Is that like a medical thing?
Not exactly. It's actually social services. It's, their mission is to introduce the field of social services to students. We will be taking a number of students and having them dive really into ABCD, Allston-Brighton NOC.
We've actually this week been having some tours from the Pulse students that are interested in applying for positions at our site. In those tours, we go over program by program what we do and what their potential role could be in those programs. So some of our main programs would be our food pantry programs. We also do a lot of case management services. So that could include job search with folks, job development with like helping connect folks to trainings, helping adjust someone's resume or cover letter, as well as housing search. So housing is a need that is very much present in the Allston-Brighton community.
So I'm a little surprised for you to say that there's a housing issue in the community. Talk a little bit about that.
Allston-Brighton consists of over 70% renters, so there's very few homeowners.
Wow.
And that has kind of started to drive up the price of renting an apartment.
That makes sense.
So yeah, for folks coming in, especially families, it can kind of lead to a lot of overcrowding in a lot of those apartments, just trying to pay the rent.
So that's a lot to take in. Let me see. You have a large renter population, and then you have shelter population, and the crunch that comes with that, and high rents. And what you're trying to do is to meet the needs of those that are basically left behind. You have 3 shelters in the area. You have some food-related programs that you're doing. Talk a little bit more about those.
Something that actually just started this week, we had our kickoff event on Monday, was our mobile food pantry.
Wow.
So this is a program that ever since I started at Allston-Brighton a year ago has really been something that we've been trying to develop. And with funding from Boston College Neighborhood Center, we were really able to see it take off this year.
So you say mobile food pantry, and originally I go to food truck or ice cream truck, and you just kind of drive through the community and have it.
So we have been connected to Food for Free, which is an agency in Cambridge that goes to farms every morning and gets fresh produce from farms. Wow. So it's not rescued food, it's all fresh food from the farm that morning. So once a month, it's the third Monday of every month, Food for Free brings a truck over. So they provide all the transportation of the bags that we pack up in the office. And we're responsible at ABNOC to pack up some shelf-stable items. So we'll give rice, we'll give some like canned vegetables, but it was also really important for us to not just provide canned food, but provide food that is fresh and nutritious. And that's really where Food for Free came in. Just learning those tips and how to do it, but also how to be safe when doing that. It's all really important so that they can really utilize everything that we give them.
Is that part of the workshops you were talking about earlier, Dipti, that you were doing workshops for folks with microwave and toaster ovens, et cetera?
So Cooking Without a Kitchen.
Cooking Without a Kitchen.
Is a workshop that we're developing a curriculum for, because we're always wanting to think ahead for these families. You know, the fact that they only have a microwave or a toaster oven, whatever the case is. Even if they're getting 2 bags of fresh produce, sometimes they don't know what to do with it because they might be thinking, well, I need a stove or all of these appliances. But no, this is where we come in and we say, actually, if you have a bowl, you know, a microwave safe bowl, you can throw the pasta in there and you can cook pasta. So having the workshop where we're actually able to demonstrate and show them and teach them the skills with the microwave and the safe ways to cook so that they can provide healthy meals for their families.
How many families do you see both with your food pantry programs and your other programs?
So there are over 150 families living in the motels. To date, we have worked with about 130 families. To kind of start off, we're starting serving 40 families a month, kind of getting our feet wet, seeing how things run, and then expanding it from there.
That's not a small undertaking, 40 families.
It's not, and it actually, so the 40 families from September 15th distribution, that had over 100 individuals, so it's feeding over 100 folks for that month.
Wow. In my mind, all I can think about is how we have been spending a lot of time in our city talking about locally sourced produce, and to have that come directly to families who are in the shelter is a very unique program, and so I'm really excited about that. What else do you have that's innovative? Because it seems like you guys are really moving fast to adapt programs that fit a specific need.
One of our youth programs that we're working on developing is the College Club. So Allston-Brighton has a lot of great resources for colleges in the community. We're right next to BC, we're right next to BU, we have Harvard and Allston, but I think a lot of times, especially youth coming from low-income families or environments, don't always think of college as an option.
Certainly.
So we'll be providing some support with FAFSA, with the college applications in itself, with fee waivers, with essays, college tours, really everything that we can to make it more accessible for families.
Wow. So that's a lot, and we would love to jump a little bit more into that, but we just have run out of time. But what I do want to do when we have you on next is really talk more about your College Club and talk about your partnerships, because Allston-Brighton really is a remote location. It's not in the first forefront of people's minds when they think of Boston. And so I thank you guys for coming on the program to educate us and our audience.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we look forward to having you on again.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So that concludes our program for today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And if you've missed any episodes, you can catch them on YouTube. Until next time, I'm your host, Eric Mitchell.